I'm Dan McDaniel, and James Wightman saved my life. In December 2016, I was broke, I was suicidal, and I was on the verge of eviction. As a person who's formerly homeless, it was a very traumatic experience for me, and I didn't even realize that I was experiencing post-traumatic stress. So instead of reacting like a rational human being and figuring it out, I went crazy and literally lost my mind. So in the midst of this breakdown, I didn't know what to do, so I decided to call James Wightman. And I knew James as a result of a conference we had both attended, and I knew he helped people with these sorts of situations, with traumatic life events. So I called him and he helped me. Uh, he told me that I needed to record a video with the eviction notice and post it to Facebook, telling people, what was going on and how they could help. But I said, no, I can't do a video. I'm too emotional to do a video right now. I'm a writer, so I'll write something. So I wrote this essay called I Have a Confession, where I literally just confessed everything that was going on. I talked about how I used to be homeless and about how I had been molested as a kid and about all of the devastating disappointments I endured and encountered and the failures I experienced as a writer and as a person. And people really connected to that. But it started off with me just writing something about the eviction and about how I needed help with that. But I realized later that it was much deeper than that. And James Whiteman really coached me through those emotions and through that trauma. So I realized that it wasn't just about the money and it wasn't just about the eviction, but it was about me needing to heal elements of my past. And so I posted this 1,200-page essay of sorts to Facebook, and within 2 days, there was such a transformation. After like 3 hours, a friend of mine, sent me all their rent money. He sent me $1,650, 1650, just out of nowhere. Then about an hour later, another friend sent me $100. Then another friend sent me $50. Then the next day, the company that I had just started working for sent me $500. They sent me my check in advance. I hadn't even I hadn't been there for a week yet, but they had already given me my paycheck because they knew what was going on. They knew I needed help, so they were helping me in that way. And within 2 days, I went from literally having nothing and about to be evicted from my house again and on the streets again to having over $2,000, $2,300 to be exact, and a new lease on life. Because it wasn't just about the money, but it was about the trauma, and it was about healing from past experiences. And I cried for an hour straight. I remember I was crying so hard while writing the letter that I actually had to go get a roll of paper towels, literally an entire roll of paper towels. And I just cried and my nose was running and it was very intense. But James, he stayed there with me. He didn't leave, he didn't hang up. He stayed there and allowed me to cry for 60 straight minutes and to really heal from those experiences and to begin the process of moving forward with my life. So as a result of James' coaching, I feel transformed. I feel much better. I've been through therapy, and almost about a year and a half later, I feel like I have a new lease on life. I'm more vulnerable. I'm more open with people. I'm not ashamed of my past anymore. I'm not ashamed of having been homeless. I'm not ashamed of having been a victim of sexual assault. I'm not ashamed of the struggles of being a human being. And before that, I was so afraid and I was so secretive about things because I just didn't want to be judged, and I didn't feel like I was ready for that. But James really allowed me to transform. Later he called them tears of transformation. So I was experiencing 60 minutes of transformation, not tears. So thank you, James Whiteman, for being there for me and for allowing me to kickstart the healing process. Without you, I wouldn't have been able to do it. So thank you.